I stayed training because I always felt like I was going to be here. So, you know, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, everything happened for a reason. And whatever that I went through that stuff, you know, it didn't bother me. I just knew I was going to be here. It was very stressful. I just kept training, stayed in the gym.
I heard your coach played a little prank on you and saying that you weren't fighting.
My manager did, yeah. He always do that. I knew he was pranking me though.
Yeah.
But he did it though still. But you know, it was like he did it at the wrong time. You know.
But I mean, now that you're here, how does it feel? You're finally back in UFC fight in a few years now. So what are kind of the emotions?
You know, I don't know. I probably won't feel any emotions until after the fight or right before the fight. But you know, I just wanted to make it here for the fans. I feel like you know, I never fought in front of the Canadian fans, and I just felt like a lot of fans was happy that I was back in the UFC fighting, and they wanted to see this fight. So I kept fighting so I can make it for like a lot of fans. You know, I listen to my social media, and a lot of fans bought tickets and wanted to see the pay-per-view. So I just kept fighting to make sure I made it here for them.
Is it at all strange stepping back into the sort of UFC machine after a couple years away?
I haven't, you know, I'm a fighter. I fight anywhere, you know, so it don't matter to me what's the name of the organization, you know. I fought in all the biggest shows, you know, on the planet. None of that has hit me yet, but I don't feel strange or nothing. I haven't fought yet.
Is Fabio Maldonado kind of the opponent? I know you always talk about guys who are going to stand there and trade with you. Is he kind of the perfect opponent that you like to fight when you go in there?
Yeah, you know, on paper, he's a great opponent because, you know, I'm not looking for guys to stand there and trade with me. That'd be a perfect world. But you know, I'm just tired of fighting guys who are cowards who just want to take you down and lay on top of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a wrestler, so I'm not talking about people that just want to take me down. You know what I'm saying? Like John Jones, he did a good job. He took me down, ran it down, went for a submission. That's perfect. But like fighters like the fight I had with Richard Evans, like he just took me down and laid on top of me. That's annoying. That's where the fans lose. You know, fans don't pay money to see that type of stuff. But Maldonado, he's a stand-up fighter. On paper, this type of fight that I love would be a good show for fans. But I heard he's been doing a lot of wrestling, so we'll see what happens.
As a fighter, do you like new challenges?
Yeah, I love new challenges. I don't like to watch my opponent's tapes. I don't like to watch it. I like to be a surprise. I feel like I'm a true definition of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? My style is a brawler, a street fighter. You know what I'm saying? You know, I grew up fighting on the streets. I had to beat up all the bullies that try to bully the kids in my neighborhood. I never studied any tapes on them. I don't know what they had. You know, I like the excitement of the surprise of, you know what I'm saying, what he's going to bring in.
Do you like the flow? Is there a flow that you get in? You find your rhythm early or late? Is there a certain, is there a perfect fight for you?
Sometimes, you know, you never know. You know, I like all different styles of fight. I like all different. I like, you know, I'm having some fights to get my ass kicked and I come back in the end and win. Some fights I like when I'm dominating the whole time. It just depends on who the person is. See, I don't know anything about Maldonado and he speaks Portuguese. I saw that he posted something stupid with my face on the radio or something on social media. Then he tagged me in, and I don't read Portuguese, so I don't know what it said. But I'm still going to take it out on Saturday. So I know it's not nice. I haven't done anything like that, so I haven't disrespected him in any way on my social media anywhere. I haven't said anything bad about him. Yeah, maybe I mess up his name a little bit, but that's what I do. You know?
Fights at 215 actually. Do you think that's an advantage for you or him?
I don't know. We're both pretty big guys, but you know, so like I said, it was so stressful preparing for this fight that you know it's kind of hard for either one of us to keep our weight down, and it's like a system that you got to go through to get down to 205. And so I just think it's fair for both of us because he's a big guy, and I'm sure it bothered him when he heard he wasn't fighting me as well, and it certainly bothered me because even though I felt like I was going to be here, I wasn't 100% certain. So it's like one of those things.
Is that something the UFC suggested, or was it your suggestion, or kind of everyone?
Well, I don't know. I think my manager knows about it. It's a lot that goes into fighting that you guys, that if you had never fought, you would never understand. I can sit here and try to explain to you all day, but fighting is mostly mental. Even the weight loss part of it. So my manager, he understands that because he's been with me when I try to cut weight and when he had to diet. You got to drink so much water, you got to do all this stuff. So when you stress it out and stuff like that, it's like nothing you can do.
Do you like the idea of going back and forth, fighting 205 or heavyweight, depending on the fight?
Well, I fought heavyweight before, you know what I'm saying? I like fighting at heavyweight. I like not having to cut weight. But, you know, this is a catch-weight fight. Like, why not take advantage of it? It's not really heavyweight, and it's not 205. Take advantage of it. Like, the thing you guys want to see is two healthy, strong fighters fight each other, not people trying to kill themselves, get down weight the night before just to, you know what I'm saying, make a certain weight class when we're going to be weighing like 215, 220 by the time we fight anyway. You know, sometimes I fight, I weigh 235. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying, how much weight I had to cut.
Would you say this is...
I agree with this is strange. This is the strangest that I can think of, you know. I never went through this type of fight before. I felt like, you know, I had to fight to get here. And that was a really tough fight.
Do you feel like you're more capable of handling this type of situation though? Because, you know, in the Pride days, sometimes you guys might know who you're fighting until just a couple weeks before, those kind of things.
I know that's totally different. That's totally different though. Like in Pride, I knew that they wanted to throw me in the last minute fight, so I stayed in shape. I stayed ready all the time. I trained all the time, you know what I'm saying? But this one, you know, it's like I wanted to fight. I wanted to, you know, make my UFC comeback. I wanted to do, you know, I had all these extra. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do. I'm a showman, you know, so I'm an entertainer. And then like I felt like I had the rug pulled right in front of me, and you know I didn't get on that plane on Monday or Tuesday when I normally get there, and it's like it was very stressful. And when you think that you're not fighting, like, it's different when you know that you might be fighting, but this is you think that you might not be fighting. It's totally different.
Are there certain things you've had to change because of that for this camp? No, everything's been the same.
Everything's been the same. Nothing I had to change. I kept training just like I had a fight. My coaches, they wouldn't let me take time off. I kept training just like I had a fight. I had to, you know.
Any other mental things that you had to do?
It's just stressful. Yeah. Very stressful. Like I remember sometimes I wasn't focused. You know, I had to be on the phone with attorneys and stuff like that. Other than that, you know.
You talked about not liking, you know, guys who take the fight to the ground and sort of lie on top of you. When you look at MMA today, do you think that's becoming more common as a strategy?
That's the problem. Because of that, I don't watch MMA. So I don't know. I don't watch it. I only watch a few fighters. And I like the fighters who bring it, who's very exciting. Because a lot of people just game plan it out and just try to get the decision. The sport I love, I don't even watch it anymore. Because I have a short attention span, and you never know who's going. You know, basically you know the guys who do their thing. You know, it's like one of those things. I don't even hardly watch my sport that much, but certain people fight, I'll watch.
Who are some of those guys? Who are the can't miss guys for you?
Well, you know, I will always watch Anderson Silva fight. You know, I was been a big fan of Vanderlei Silva, but he's not fighting anymore. You know, I'm a big fan of like the old school guys. You know, the ones who bring it.
Obviously, Anderson and Vanderlei being the news for some not so great reasons of late.
You said what?
Anderson and Vanderlei being the news for some not so great reasons of late. What did you make when you heard Anderson Silva, you know, after some lots of steroids and all that stuff?
You know, it's just unfortunate. But you know, if anybody, you know, it's like one of those things. You know what I'm saying? I think if fighters take steroids to fight, I don't believe in it. But like basketball players, baseball players, come on, they're not contact. I don't care enough about those guys. But fighters and football players, you know, you can hurt people if you take steroids and stuff like that. But you know, I look up to Anderson Silva no matter what. The guy just came up with one of the worst injuries known to man, and he's older in age and stuff like that. So when I heard that, you know, what I'm saying, like, wow, you know, I wish that it wasn't true.
Does your time in Pride at all and your time spent in Japan change the way that maybe you feel about performance-enhancing drugs in the sport, your own personal views and thoughts on it?
Well, to be honest, when I was in Pride, in the rules meeting, the first thing on the rules meeting said that they didn't test for steroids and stuff like that. I just chose to stay clear because, like I said, I feel like I have to fight the spirit, the warrior spirit. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to have to depend on illegal drugs. You know, the doctor prescribed me something, there's something totally different. But if you gotta, you know, do something illegal to get in there and perform and do your job, then I don't agree with that. But that's just me, that's my opinion.
Is there a psychological edge at all? Some guys also who share that pride with you. Dan Henderson, who you fought and defended UFC title against. Dan Henderson famously joked, of course I'm fighting guys who are on steroids. I fought for pride, and he seemed to draw like, real motivation from knowing he wasn't that guy who was able to beat other fighters who did. Being in that environment, do you look back on what you did and kind of think, yeah, these guys all kind of had to cheat, and I was still able to do it. Did you think of it at all in that way?
You know, I was so young and stuff like that. I didn't even really know what steroids was. I'm not going to even lie to you. I'm from Memphis, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know they said on the paper said anabolic steroids. I had to ask my coach, you know, what is that? You know, I don't know. And I couldn't even tell who was on there and who wasn't. I didn't even notice who was and who was. It didn't cross my mind. I didn't care. I just liked fighting. I didn't care if people did it or not. That's their choice. I just chose to stay clean my whole career, and you can pretty much tell the fighters who stayed away from it and the fighters who did. Like I've been fighting for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And, even though my body's all beat up and stuff like that, but I'm still here, still going.
Fabio is a guy who has been known to be able to take a lot of damage and yet come back and win his fights. Can you prepare for that, something like that in training, or do you just have to kind of go and fight and just see how it plays out?
Yeah, it's easy. It's real easy to prepare for stuff like that. People can take a lot of damage and stuff like that. You come back to the win fight, it's very easy. You just got to space yourself out. You got to be real intelligent about what you're doing, what you're putting out there. But that type of fight is dangerous for anybody.
Is it nice to fight on the same card as Michael Bisping? I know you guys have quite a history and just training together.
Anybody got any other questions?
The guy who was supposed to replace you has been told to keep preparing just in case. Are you worried there could be another turnaround in this whole soap opera?
You know what? Let's move to the next question.
I'm sorry if you've answered that, but do you feel like you are the savior of this card? Look at all the people wanting to talk to you. Do you feel that pressure?
No, I don't feel pressure from it. Some of the fans have been saying that and stuff like that, but I don't feel any pressure from it because I'm going to come and do the same thing that I plan on doing anyways. I plan on coming and trying to put on a very exciting fight for you guys. Yes, I hope I get the victory. That's my main objective because my first fight back in the UFC, I want the victory, but I want a very exciting fight no matter what.
How did you handle all that juridical history with Bellator? How were the past couple of weeks for you?
Very stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful. But today I feel energized knowing that so far I won. I'm here. It's very stressful, but when you're right, you feel like you feel like justice. But when people say you're wrong, you feel like, wow, it's a lot of things go through your mind, like why didn't why people it's just hard. It's hard to deal with. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. And is it hard to stay focused and go in the gym, stay in shape while your lawyers are working for getting you in?
Yeah, it's very hard, but I did a good job of it. You know what I'm saying? My last hard day of training, I did 10 6-minute rounds, and I've never done that before in my life. And not only just hitting pads, but it's like what I call MMA pads, where you're wrestling, you're sparring, you're getting up off your back, and you're hitting pads, you're kicking and everything. So that's the hardest thing ever to do, and I've never done 10 rounds. So even though I was stressed and everything, I still did, and I did a great job. My coach was pretty pleased.
And people say your juridic battle just begun. It's not over yet, so how do you foresee the future?
I'm not psychic.
Yeah.